A dying billionaire walks into a diner every Tuesday for 2 years. Always the same booth. Always the same waitress. Then he dies, and leaves her everything. But when his family discovers who she really is, the truth destroys them all. This is the story of a secret that waited 40 years to explode. The conference room smelled like old money and new leather. Chen sat in a chair that probably cost more than her car, her diner uniform still on because she came straight from her shift. Her hands shook in her lap. She did not belong here. Across the massive table, Harold Evans' family stared at her like she was dirt on their expensive shoes. His son Marcus wore a suit that could feed a family for months. His daughter Victoria kept checking her phone, her diamond ring catching the light every time she moved. Harold's younger brother Robert drummed his fingers on the table, impatient. The lawyer, Mr. Peterson, cleared his throat. He was old, maybe 70, with glasses that kept sliding down his nose. He opened a folder and pulled out papers that rustled too loud in the quiet room. "Thank you all for coming," Mr. Peterson said. "I know this is difficult. Harold's passing was unexpected. Can we just get on with it?" Marcus said. His voice was sharp. "Some of us have actual work to do." Lucy wanted to disappear. She should not be here. When Mr. Peterson called her 3 days ago and said Harold Evans left her something in his will, she thought it was a mistake. Maybe he left her $1,000. Maybe 5,000. Harold used to come to the diner every Tuesday morning for 2 years, always sat in her section, always left a $50 tip. He was kind. He asked about her son. He listened when she talked about her night classes. But this, sitting with his family, this was wrong. Harold Evans' estate is valued at approximately $840 million, Mr. Peterson said. Victoria stopped looking at her phone. Robert stopped drumming his fingers. Marcus leaned forward. The properties include the main estate in Buckhead, the vacation home in Hilton Head, the penthouse in New York, controlling shares in Evans Industries, and various investments and accounts. Mr. Peterson looked down at the papers. Harold was very specific about his wishes. "Obviously, everything gets divided between us," Marcus said. "3 ways. Simple." Mr. Peterson took off his glasses, cleaned them with a cloth from his pocket, put them back on. Lucy recognized that move. That was the move people made when they had bad news. Actually, the will states that the entirety of Harold Evans' estate goes to one person. He looked straight at Lucy. "Miss Lucy Chen." The room exploded. Marcus jumped up so fast his chair fell backward. "That's impossible. That's absolutely impossible. This is insane." Victoria screamed. "Who is she?" Some waitress he felt sorry for. Robert's face turned red. "There's no way this is legal. No way. We'll contest this. We'll fight this until—" "The will is ironclad," Mr. Peterson said quietly. "I wrote it myself." Harold was of completely sound mind. He had 3 separate psychiatric evaluations to confirm his mental competency. He knew exactly what he was doing. Lucy could not breathe. $800 million. That number did not make sense. Nothing made sense. Her ears were ringing. Her vision got blurry at the edges. "Why?" The word came out of her mouth small and broken. "Why would he do this?" Mr. Peterson handed her an envelope. Cream-colored paper. Expensive. Her name written on it in shaky handwriting. Harold's handwriting. "He wanted you to read this. Alone. When you were ready." Marcus slammed his hands on the table. "This is theft. She manipulated him. An old man, sick, probably on medication." "Mr. Evans was not on any medication that would affect his judgment," Mr. Peterson said. His voice had an edge now. "And I must remind you that making accusations of undue influence without evidence is legally dangerous for you." Lucy stood up. Her legs felt like water. The envelope burned in her hand. "I don't understand. I was just nice to him. I was just doing my job." "You conniving little—" Victoria started. "Enough." Mr. Peterson's voice cracked like a whip. "This meeting is over. Miss Chen, my office will be in touch tomorrow to begin the transfer process. The rest of you, I suggest you contact your own attorneys." Lucy ran. She did not remember leaving the building or getting to her car. She sat in the driver's seat of her beat-up Honda in the parking garage and stared at the envelope. Her hands still shook. She opened it. Inside was a letter and a photograph. The photograph was old, the colors faded. It showed a young black woman, maybe 20, beautiful, standing in front of a small house. She wore a yellow dress and smiled at the camera like the whole world was good. Lucy's breath caught in her throat. She knew that smile. She knew that face. She had seen it in her mirror every single day of her life. The same eyes, the same cheekbones, the same small gap between the front teeth. The letter was short. Harold's handwriting was shaky but clear. "Lucy, your mother's name was Sarah Chen. I met her in 1984 when I was 25 years old and working my first real job. I loved her. She loved me. My family said she was not good enough. They said I would ruin everything if I stayed with her. They threatened to cut me off. I was weak. I was a coward. I left her. 3 months later, she called to tell me she was pregnant. I hung up the phone. I never spoke to her again. I spent 40 years building an empire, and I spent 40 years trying to forget what I did to her. To you. When you told me your mother died when you were born, when you told me her name, I knew. I knew who you were. I should have told you. I was too ashamed. I was still a coward. But I can do this one thing right. This money belongs to you. It always did. I'm sorry I never got to be your father. I'm sorry for everything. Harold." Lucy screamed. The sound came from somewhere deep and dark inside her chest, somewhere she did not know existed. She screamed until her throat was raw and tears poured down her face, and she could not tell if she was furious or heartbroken or both. Her phone buzzed. A text from her babysitter asking when she would be home. Her son Jaden had a soccer game tomorrow. She had to pick up groceries. The rent was due next week. Except now everything was different. Everything had changed. And she had no idea what to do. If this story is hitting you right in the heart, please hit that subscribe button and smash the like. You won't believe what happens next, and I don't want you to miss the stories coming to this channel. Your support means everything. Now, back to Lucy's shocking discovery. Lucy did not go home. She drove to the diner instead, parked in the back lot where the streetlight flickered. She sat there for an hour just breathing. Just existing. The letter was still in her hand, crumpled now from how hard she gripped it. Her phone would not stop buzzing. Unknown numbers. She turned it off. At midnight she finally drove home to her apartment in East Point. The building needed paint. The stairs creaked. But it was hers. She paid for it with her own money from her own work. Inside, Mrs. Rodriguez from next door was asleep on the couch. Jaden was asleep in his room, his small body curled around his stuffed dinosaur. Lucy paid Mrs. Rodriguez double, apologized for being late. Then she sat on the floor of her tiny kitchen and cried until there was nothing left inside her. The next morning, Marcus Evans was waiting outside her apartment building. He sat in a black Mercedes, engine running. When Lucy came out with Jaden, Marcus got out of the car. "We need to talk," he said. "Mommy, who's that?" Jaden asked. He was 6 years old, small for his age, with Lucy's eyes and his father's smile. His father who left when Lucy got pregnant. His father who she had not heard from in 7 years. "Nobody, baby. Get in the car." "I'm your brother," Marcus said. The words came out hard and angry. "Apparently." Lucy froze. Jaden looked confused. "Mommy." "Get in the car, Jaden." "No." Her son knew that tone. He climbed into the Honda without arguing. Lucy turned to Marcus. Up close she could see he had not slept. His eyes were red. His suit was wrinkled. "I hired a private investigator," Marcus said. "Took him 6 hours to find your birth certificate. Your mother Sarah Chen, father unknown. Took him another 3 hours to find the DNA test results Dad had done 4 months ago. You're his daughter. It's real." Lucy's stomach twisted. "He tested me without telling me. He took your coffee cup from the diner. Had the lab run it. Marcus laughed, but there was no humor in it. My father, the great Harold Evans, got a waitress pregnant 40 years ago and abandoned her. Then found his illegitimate daughter by accident and decided to give her everything. I didn't ask for this, Lucy said. Her voice shook. I didn't ask for any of this. But you're taking it, right? Marcus stepped closer. $800 million. You hit the lottery. Must feel good. My mother died giving birth to me because she couldn't afford proper medical care. The words came out like bullets. She was alone. She had nobody. Your father left her with nothing. She worked 2 jobs until the day she went into labor. She collapsed at a bus stop. By the time the ambulance came, it was too late. They saved me, but they couldn't save her. I grew up in foster care. Do you know what that's like? Do you know what it's like to have nobody? Marcus looked away. His jaw was tight. So no, Lucy said. It doesn't feel good. It feels like my whole life was a lie. It feels like I had a father who threw my mother away like garbage. Money doesn't fix that. She got in her car. Marcus did not try to stop her. At the diner, Lucy's manager Tony took one look at her face and sent her home. Whatever's going on, you need to deal with it, he said. He was kind but firm. Come back when you're ready. Lucy drove to the cemetery where her mother was buried. She had not been here in months. Could not afford flowers this time. She sat on the grass next to the simple headstone and pulled out Harold's letter. He loved you, Lucy whispered. He said he loved you. But he was too weak. Too scared of his family. Too scared of losing his money. She pressed her palm against the cold stone. I'm so angry, Mama. I'm so angry at him. At them. At everything. Her phone turned back on. 57 missed calls. 32 voicemails. She deleted them all except one. Mr. Peterson. She called him back. Miss Chen, he said. I'm glad you called. There's one more thing Harold left for you. Another letter. He told me to give it to you only if you contacted me after reading the first one. He said if you didn't call, you didn't want the inheritance and I should destroy everything. What does it say? I don't know. He sealed it himself. Can you come to my office? An hour later, Lucy sat in Mr. Peterson's office. Different from the conference room. Smaller. Books everywhere. Pictures of grandchildren on the desk. He handed her another envelope. This letter was longer. Lucy read it twice. Then a third time. Lucy, if you're reading this, you didn't run away. Part of me hoped you would. Hoped you'd be stronger than me. But maybe you're curious. Maybe you're angry. Maybe you want to understand. Here's what I want you to know. I was 25 when I met your mother. She worked at a bookstore near my office. She recommended a novel to me. We talked for 2 hours. I came back the next day. And the next. We fell in love fast. Reckless love. Young love. When I told my parents I wanted to marry her, my father said he would disown me. My mother cried and said I was ruining my life. They said Sarah was beneath us. They meant because she was poor. Because she was black. Because she didn't come from the right family. I told myself I had no choice. I told myself I was protecting my future. The truth is I was protecting my comfort. My inheritance. My easy life. I chose money over love. Over her. Over you. I built an empire on that choice. Every dollar I made, every success I had, it was built on the foundation of abandoning the woman I loved and the child I never met. My legitimate children, Marcus and Victoria, I gave them everything. Money. Education. Opportunity. But I never gave them struggle. I never taught them what matters. They grew up entitled. Cold. Just like I was. Just like my parents were. When you served me coffee that first Tuesday morning 2 years ago and told me your name, told me about your mother Sarah Chen who died in childbirth, I knew. Something in your face. The way you smiled. I had the DNA test done to be sure. Then I spent 4 months watching you. Watching you work double shifts to pay for nursing school. Watching you raise your son alone. watching you be kind to every rude customer, every difficult person. You're everything I wasn't. Everything your mother was. This money is not a gift. It's a repayment of a 40-year-old debt. It's what your mother should have had. What you should have grown up with. My legitimate children will hate you for this. They'll fight you. They'll call you names. Let them. They need to learn what I never taught them. That privilege is not a right. That cruelty has consequences. That the world doesn't owe them anything. Use this money however you want. Build a life. Help others. Burn it all. I don't care. It's yours. The only thing I ask is that you tell your son about his grandfather. Not the billionaire. Not the businessman. Tell him about the coward who learned too late what matters. Tell him to be better than me. I'm sorry, Lucy. I'm so deeply sorry. Your father, Harold. Lucy folded the letter carefully. Put it back in the envelope. Looked at Mr. Peterson. His children, she said. Marcus and Victoria. What happens to them? They each have trust funds from their mother's estate. About 10 million each. They'll be fine financially. But they expected more. They expected everything. Yes. Lucy stood up. Walked to the window. Atlanta spread out below, all glass and steel and traffic. Somewhere out there, Marcus was probably calling lawyers. Victoria was probably crying to her rich friends. Robert was probably planning something. I want to set up 3 trusts, Lucy said. 10 million each. For Marcus, Victoria, and Robert. They get monthly payments, but they can't touch the principal. The rest of the money, I want to create a foundation. 4 single mothers. 4 kids in foster care. Scholarships. Medical care. Housing assistance. Everything my mother needed and never got. Mr. Peterson stared at her. Miss Chen, you'd be giving away hundreds of millions of dollars to people who hate you. I know. Lucy turned around. But Harold was right about one thing. They need to learn. And I need to show my son that money doesn't make you good. Choices make you good. My mother made good choices with nothing. I can make good choices with everything. And for yourself? Enough to finish nursing school. Buy a house. Give Jaden a good life. I don't need a mansion. I just need enough. Mr. Peterson smiled. It was small and sad. Harold chose well. 3 months later, Lucy graduated from nursing school. Marcus came to the ceremony. He sat in the back, awkward in jeans and a regular shirt. After, he approached her carefully. The trust you set up, he said. I didn't deserve that. No, Lucy agreed. You didn't. Why did you do it? Lucy looked at Jaden, running around with her classmates' kids, laughing. Because somebody has to break the cycle. Might as well be me. Marcus nodded slowly. Dad was right about you. In his last letter to me, the one the lawyer gave me last week, he said you were the best thing he ever made. He said he hoped we'd learn from you. Did you? I'm trying. Marcus handed her an envelope. This is from Victoria too. And Uncle Robert. We want to donate to your foundation. It's not much. Just $1 million each. But it's a start. Lucy took the envelope. Inside were 3 checks and a note in Victoria's handwriting. Thank you for showing us what grace looks like. We're sorry for how we treated you. We're trying to be better. That night, Lucy sat in her new house, nothing fancy, just 3 bedrooms in a good school district. Jaden was asleep upstairs. On the mantel was a picture of her mother in the yellow dress next to Harold's letters. She had framed them both. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. But something made her pick up. Miss Chen. This is Rebecca Martinez. I received a scholarship from the Sarah Chen Foundation. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm a single mom, just like your mother was, and this scholarship means I can go to college. It means my daughter will see me graduate. Thank you for giving people like us a chance. Lucy smiled through tears. You're welcome. Make her proud. After she hung up, Lucy walked to the mantel. Touched her mother's picture. Touched Harold's letter. "I hope I'm doing this right," she whispered. "I hope this is what you both would have wanted." Outside, the Atlanta night was warm. Somewhere in the city, another single mother was working a double shift. Another kid was growing up in foster care. Another family was struggling to survive. But now, because of a coward's final act of courage, because of a daughter's grace, because of a waitress who learned that the size of your heart matters more than the size of your bank account, some of them would get a chance. Some of them would make it. And that, Lucy thought, was worth more than all the money in the world. If this story moved you, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next emotional journey. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. Are you Team Lucy or Team Marcus? Did Harold do the right thing? Let's talk about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.